my name's Sarah. This is my Flosstube channel, Stitching by Sarah. This is a YouTube channel about cross stitch. If you are a returning viewer, I want to thank you so much for coming back. And if you have not chose to subscribe yet, I wish that you would. And please like my videos, help me grow my channel. And I want to thank everybody who has subscribed over this past week. I think I've gotten 50 more subscribers. I'm like, wow. If you're new to my channel, I hope you enjoy this channel and you come back for more. As predicted, I have quite a bit of haul. Went to Las Vegas last week. Spent 2 nights, 3 days in Vegas with my husband. We're getting old walking that strip. Oh my goodness. When we were there 13 years ago, we were able to walk, you know, both ends of the strip because we were in the middle at the Mirage. Oh, not this time. Boy, Lyft was our favorite friend. Let's see. I also have Stitchy Kindness. At the end, I will have a giveaway, what I'm calling a Christmas present. And I have some starts and I have some whips. This week's featured FFO is right there. This is Rose of Sharon by Paula Vaughan. It is on a 14 count, I think it's Oatmeal Aida. It was back when all I did was Aida. This week's gonna be all about the frogging and the fudging, so I thought this would be a perfect FFO to show you because it has got a huge fudge in it. I used the wrong color from someplace and to me it's glaringly obvious. I have had people look at it and they said they don't see it. I mean, it was after it's framed, but I wasn't going to take it out. I was stitching along and realized as I was almost done with that section that I used the wrong color, and I'm like, it's staying, which I tend to do a lot. I call them unintentional deviations from the design. So, starts, whips, Stitchy Kindness, haul, and a giveaway, which I'm calling a Christmas present. So let's start with my new starts. So I am doing the hashtag Jolly Housewives, where you stitch Stitching with the Housewives Christmas during December. And one of my starts is Silent Night by the Housewives, Priscilla and Chelsea. Now, I didn't want to do it on black, so I spent quite a while looking through my stash because I got to practice, you know, stitching from stash if I'm going to do that next year. And one that I found was Raven by Be Stitch Me. It is actually a 25 count opalescent. Oh, you can see that pretty good. I didn't want to do black, so I went to this. And here's my start. So some of these are snowflakes called for rain showers. I put it away from Classic Colorworks. It was blending in too much to my fabric, so I changed the color. And I actually changed it to like an icy blue. I don't know if you can tell the icy blue. And I actually have 2 different whites because I was trialing the 12 grain and B5200, and I couldn't see a real big difference between the 12 grain and the B5200, so I put away the B5200 and went with the called for 12 grain. So that is my start so far on Silent Night by the Housewives. Otherwise, I'm using the called for floss until I find something that doesn't go well with the fabric. Okay, next is, oops, sorry. I decided to do some Christmas ornaments, so I started some Christmas ornaments. And I don't know if you remember this pattern that I bought at a resale shop downtown. I'm not going to do it in a card. I'm going to make it a Christmas ornament. So it's a kit. It comes with the very stiff aida. It's very tiny, so I don't know if it's an 18 or a 20. I don't know if it really says. But this is my teeny tiny, ooh, you can see through that. This is my start. Sorry about that. No, it shouldn't take long to get him done. And I'm using the whole called for floss that all wound up in one hunk of mess. So there is start number 2. Start number 3. So I wanted to do a Santa, do more ornaments. So I started Wee Santa by Heart and Hand. I'm using, let's see, looks like I'm using a mixture of the called for Gentle Arts, and if I didn't have that, I'm using the called for DMC. And the fabric is 32 count putty. This is one of those linens that I had gotten at the EGA for $5, $5 or $10. So this is my start on Wee Santa. He's so cute. Okay. Pulled my pattern out and a bunch of stuff came out with it. So I'm hoping to get Wee Santa and the other Santa Claus done by the time I get the baby sampler done, because I want to do a bunch of FFOing when I do the FFOing on the baby samplers. And speaking of the baby samplers, we're going into the whips. And you all know which one I'm doing, which one I'm talking about if you've been here at all. This is Pinecone Mcgee's flower sampler baby announcement. This is number 2 out of 2 that I'm doing. And I told you my plan was to get Lily's name all done. Now, here is some of the fudging and frogging. I had some problems with Athena I had to take out, so I frogged some of Athena. And then when I got to Lily, I started the Y, and I started going into the words. So I had to take that out. So I pulled the Y up. It was 2 squares, or two sets of stitches up higher than Athena. So I was trying to figure out what in the world am I going to do. I really did not want to take Athena out because that is far too much frogging, especially for me. So what I decided to do was I fudged. The Y, let's see, has got an extra little set of stitches right there. And then I just brought the Y down a little bit farther. And I'm off by 1, but it's not as glaringly obvious as the 2. So this was, Athena was 2 lower than Lily, but now I've made it 1. So that is Lily Athena. And now I am going to be working on all the little leaves, flowers, whatever they are. So I want to get most of them, the majority of them, done this week, so that I can get it done in time for Christmas. If I could get it all done this coming week, I would be very happy, but we'll see. Get it FFO'd and off to Anna with the other one. Alrighty then, the next whip. Oh, I forgot to tell you, the flower samplers 28 count white white linen with the called for DMC. Next is Winter Ride, if I can find the pattern cover. This is a dimensions kit. It's called Winter Ride. I figured it's December. It's time for some December stitching. This was a gift last year from a coworker. I'm going to put in here the picture of where it was last time you saw it. And I believe last time you saw it was at my whip parade, my very first episode. And this is, I'm sorry, it's all wrinkled, but this is what I took to Vegas. This was my stitching while I was on the airplane or at the airport or sitting in the hotel waiting for my husband to wake up. So this is where I'm at now. What I did was the black stitches on the truck and some of the peachy or coral red there and in the window. It's not a lot, but it's enough to say I have more done. And this is the kit Aida, you know, the Aida that stands up. And maybe a 16 count, I don't know. I don't know if it actually says. Oops. I don't know, you probably don't care. Okay, so that's Winter Ride. And then my last of the Jolly Housewives, Jolly Housewives Sal, is my gingerbread cookies. And here's some more fudging and frogging. I am having a hard time with words this past week. This gingerbread, I don't know. I'm saying I don't know a lot today, aren't I? Sorry. I'm in a hurry because I got to go grocery shopping and my daughter's coming over. She wanted to be the one to put up our Christmas tree because she has always been the one to put up our Christmas tree, at least for years and years. And so she's coming over, so I wanted to get this done and over with before she got here, get the videotaping done. So if I seem like I'm in a hurry, I'm sorry. Anyways, here's where Gingerbread Cookies was last time you saw it. And this is where Gingerbread Cookies are now. The N was a stitch or two too short, so the G was too high. So I took out these bottom stitches of the N and some of the G and added onto the top of the G to try to get it correct. So a little bit of ripping and a little bit of fudging, but that's where we're at now. And this is a 14 count chalkboard Aida by Witchell. And I'm using the called for Classic Colorworks. So that's what I've been stitching on. It's a little bit more than I had thought I'd get done. I was busy stitching this past week after we got home from our vacation. Okay. Next, let me show you my Stitchy Kindness. Caroline and her mom, Martha, gave me a bunch of patterns of Paula Vaughan, so I'll just quick go through all the stuff she gave me. So, Cherished Moments by Paula Vaughan is one that I didn't have. Isn't that pretty? I just absolutely love Paula Vaughan stuff. Even if it's just to collect, they're just so pretty. And this is the Embroiderer. Friendship Bouquet. And Caroline still has a bunch of Paula Vaughans that I already had. This is long ago. So if you're interested, contact Caroline at Samplers and Stitching in Montgomery, Texas. Reflections of the Past. The Seamstress. Spring Remembered Part 2. Sisters 3. Sunlight and Silhouettes. That's really pretty. Wedding Ring Bouquet. Yesterday's Garden. There's actually 2 of them there. I like the window where you'd see the little girl out in the yard. This is Paula Vaughan in miniature. And this is just like where they took snippets of little motifs out of some of her, let's see if I can find, I guess it's this page. Little snippets out of some of her patterns. That's really pretty. And I like that, it's pretty. That chair is pretty cool. You have the little sewing, oh, that's cute. Oh, that would be a nice little gift to a sewer, a seamstress. Make it into a pillow and give to them. I had not seen this one before. And then she gave me a Leisure Arts magazine that's got a Paula Vaughan in it. A Designing Woman. So this is Leisure Arts from 1988. That's about the time that I started stitching. And we have, this isn't Paula Vaughan, but it's really pretty. I like flowers. And if you're a knitter and crocheter, there's a cute little blanket with hearts. Anyways, and then the last is she knows that I like flowers, so she gave me that pattern. It looks like a quick little stitch for me. Okay, so that's my Stitchy Kindness. And now on to our haul. Oops. This is my haul. So first from the Stitcher's Paradise out in Vegas. I had bought this 30 count We the People. And I'm sure you all have seen this. Thought about doing one of my Mirabilias on this. I've been looking for this fabric for a while. And this is We the People by the Primitive Hair. Okay, and then I have Ancient Stones. I think this is another Primitive Hair. Yeah, this is another Primitive Hair. And this is what Ancient Stone looks like. This is also a 30 count linen. And I bought Christmas presents there, so I'm not showing the Christmas presents, but some of the Christmas presents I may have gotten copies for me. Hint, hint. First is Lizzie Kate Snippets. This is the Peppermint Sleds. And I bought a sled for me to try. And next is Picture This Plus Legacy. They had a lot of Picture This Plus, so I went crazy. So I got a 1/4 yard. Isn't that pretty? I love Picture This Plus. So that's Legacy. This is Sand. I'm doing my long dog on sand, and I love that color. It's a little greener than what you guys, right? I guess that's right there. So that's what sand looks like. Next is Irish Cream by R&R. Trying to find a good color for it. It's a little darker than that. I don't know how some of you guys do it with the lighting. It takes me like 15 minutes to try to figure out my lighting so that it's not on my glasses or on my frame piece, which it is, and without shadows behind me. And, I don't know how some of you guys do it. It's a cloudy day today. I don't know if that's part of it, but sorry. I squirreled. I didn't frog, I squirreled. Anyways, this is Irish Cream by R&R. This is Wren by Picture This Plus. And Doubloon by Picture This Plus. All very pretty. Next is the Linen Berry Collection by Erica Michaels. That's on the back, you can see a little bit better. And they had Mirabilias, so I went a little crazy with Mirabilias. I actually had to, I made myself, I limited myself because I couldn't bring all the ones home that I wanted, so I got the older ones. Yeah, I got some older ones. So anyways, sorry. This is Florentina by Mirabilia. This is Spring in My Garden by Mirabilia. And the Blossom Harvest. And I love my big toe. This is Every Good and Perfect Gift by My Big Toe. That's the name. And love this sampler. This is Jane Surtees, 1811. Make Much of Precious Time. This is a Hands Across the Sea. Isn't that pretty? And so that was my haul from Stitcher's Paradise. I went on to Stitching with the Housewives Etsy store and I bought a bunch of patterns. Try to make some Christmas decorations, Christmas tree ornaments. So I bought a bunch of ornaments through them. The first one is Stars and Stripes Delivery. Look at Santa holding the flag. Here comes Santa Claus. Ho, ho, ho. Bringing Home the Tree. And Believe. And one of them had the bonus chart called Merry and Bright. But there's no picture with that, so I'm not going to show you that. That was my Etsy purchase, part of it. I'll tell you about more of it in a little bit. And then my samplers and stitching. I bought another Paula Vaughan. This is Make Believe. Aren't those too cute? And we have Some Gracious Ladies by Sarah Evans. Some Gracious Ladies. And they're in purple. I love that one. This is P. Buckley Moss Christmas Carol. Isn't that beautiful? That's the name. The little Amish kids watching or singing. And here's some more Amish. I don't know why every time I get on here, my face starts itching. So I apologize for itching my face. P. Buckley Moss Taking Turns. So they're quilting. And here's another fun fact about Sarah. She is a New York Mets fan. I've been since early 80s, back when Tug McGraw was pitching and that whole crew. So I saw this and I had to get this. I don't know if I'm ever going to stitch it or what I do with it, but it's got the Mets. And this is Major League Baseball cross stitch items for the home. Caroline had several of these baseball cross stitch. Apparently, I'm thinking it probably came from that lady that donated 5 boxes to Caroline. So there's a couple more there. This one reminds me of home. Gentle Unity, the Amish. Back in Pennsylvania. I guess they're Mennonite that live by us, but there's a huge Amish population up there. That's very pretty. And then this is Mill Hill Folk Art Favorites. I bought this because I plan on doing one of these for a friend of mine that loves chickens. Probably hen party. I don't know if Tina watches or not. If she does, well, guess what, Tina? Sometime I'll make that for you. And there's a bunch of stuff on the back here. I didn't even see that before. I just saw the hens and picked it up. This looks a lot like Paula Vaughan, but it's not. It is Stony Creek Collections Garden Secrets. 2 little girls playing out in the garden. Isn't that pretty? And here is A Change of Pace by Barbara and Cheryl. I don't know if I'll ever do this one, but isn't that gorgeous? Full coverage. Oh, that's a place I want to be. Looks so nice and calm and quiet. Just sit there with your stitching, watching the world go by. I'd love to be there. Sophisticated Ladies by Core on Cappy. Cappy Originals Ltd. So that's what it looks like. And this is the lady that I like. That one right there. And I love cross-country stitching magazines, and she had a couple there. So this is January, February of 1990, cross-country stitching. I love Jeremiah Junction. That's the designer that's in most of cross country stitching. So I also have cross country stitching July, August of '89. So there, and this looks like a Jeremiah Junction. I love that. But it does very much scream 1980s, 1990, early 90s. But I love it. All right, so if you're still here, I am going to give my first giveaway. I'm calling it a Christmas present. I'm not going to show you everything that's in it. I'm just going to show you one pattern. I will let you know that it's going to come with a project bag. I had every intention this year of making project bags like I have for the last 2 or 3 years for friends, but I just haven't had the time or the ambition. So the other day I went on Etsy and ordered some. First place I ordered from, after I ordered it, it says it wasn't going to get delivered for another like 4 to 6 weeks. I'm like, oh. So I went on and found another place and ordered a couple project bags for Christmas presents. So hopefully they get here before Christmas. So your Christmas present is going to be a project bag. You're not going to know what it looks like because when you get Christmas presents, you don't know what it is. It's going to have some goodies in it. And I will show you that it will have this teeny tiny little cute pattern in it. This is Winter Posies by Jeanette Douglas Designs. And it comes with the fabric, the floss, and some teeny tiny little pins. So, in order to be eligible for your Christmas present, I am going to give it to a subscriber. You need to put in the comments something about present. Whether it's your favorite present that you have received ever, the favorite present you've ever given, a present that you're giving, a present that you want, something about present, P-R-E-S-E-N-T. And please like the video. So, I probably will draw names Christmas Eve for the Christmas Eve show or episode. So that'll be 2 weeks you have to put in your comments about present. And I believe that's it. I want to thank you all if you're still here, and I hope you have a good week. I'll see you next time. Bye.